In this video, we're going to understand what happened in the case of Lloyd's Bank versus Medway LTD. This case occurred in the year 1957 in the English courts. The importance of this case is going to be discussed at the end of this video. Let me start the introduction of this case. In the introduction, first of all, the name of this case is Lloyd's Bank versus Medway Ltd 1957. What happened in this case? Let's see the facts. In the facts of the case, basically the Medway Ltd needed little money to help them run their business. So, due to this situation, they went to Lloyd's Bank and demanded for a loan. Lloyd's Bank agreed and made a contract for them to sign and get the loan. After signing the contract, the bank had gave them the loan, but the contract had mentioned a date on which they have to return the loan back to the bank. Many days have been passed, and the loan was still not received by the Medway company. Then the bank demanded to return the money, but the Medway company just refused to repay back. Due to this, the bank had no option and went straight to English court and filed a suit against the Medway company. Then this case was started in the English court. Both parties were available. Lloyd's Bank argued that the contract on which the Medway had signed in order to get the loan had mentioned the date on which they have to repay back all the amount, whereas the Medway lawyer argued that the contract was incorrect. There were few flaws in the contract, thus they will not repay the loan because the contract was invalid. After hearing both parties, the judge had decided in the favor of Lloyd's Bank, arguing that the contract was correct and equity, including the maxims, cannot be involved in law because the law was according to the way it should be. There was nothing wrong while making the contract. The contract was according to the law, so maxims cannot be involved because equity follows the law. If the laws are correct, equity will not interrupt. And the other thing judges had also mentioned that the Medway should not flee from their responsibilities. They should fulfill the responsibility and repay the loan as mentioned in the contract, and they should not run away from the responsibilities that were given to them through the contract they have signed by their own will. Now let's discuss the importance of this case law in equity and the maxims. This case was important because it had introduced the importance of loan agreements, because lots of people try to flee from the responsibility after getting the loan. They do not want to return the money back. So this case had shown the importance of the loan agreement, that if the loan agreement or the contract is valid and is according to law, no one can flee or run away from the responsibility of this contract and escape from giving back the money. The second importance was that the Medway had lost the case because they do not have the solid evidence to prove the contract wrong. So this case had introduced us that we all should have a solid evidence in order to prove the other party wrong. Now you might be thinking why this case law was connected with the maximum equity follows the law. Here you have seen that the judges had said clearly that equity, including the maximum, will not involve in situations where law is clear and is correct and not causing any harm. So basically, the contract was absolutely clean. There was nothing wrong in the contract. Therefore, we connot use equity or any maximum to clean or fix anything because it was already fixed. So this is the reason this case law is acted with this maxim. Hope you have liked this video and understand the whole concept of this case.